Hi, I'm Ann, and this is Toby, who just dropped his bone. So, are you excited? Can you see something fabulous? Can you? Can you? More about that later. So my name is Ann, and I live in a small village just outside Ottawa, Ontario, with my husband Bob and Toby. He's 7 months old and can be a bit of a handful, but he's so much fun to have around and a great knitting companion. So I used to do a lot of card making videos before with colorful cards by Ann Hunt. But now I've kind of lost my mojo for card making and I'm back knitting and sewing and all those other crafty little things that go along with being retired. So I wanted to share my knitting exploits with you. I do have some notes, and this will be a long video today because I have so much to tell you. So you may want to go grab a cup of tea and have a sit down, put your feet up, and let's get on with the show. So what have I got to tell you today? I have to tell you all about my finished objects, my new whips works in progress, my exploits at the Toronto Frolic last weekend, and oh, and I have my new knit crate to open up and show you. So I told you there's tons to see today. Go get a cup of tea. Go, I'll wait. Are you back yet? Have you done it yet? Okay, good. Well, whatever. Cup of tea whenever. You might need to pause and go get one, but it's gonna be long. Okay, so notes to keep me on track because we all know I tend to squirrel off. So as I said, hello and welcome. If you are returning, I'm so glad you came back. It's awesome. And if you are new to my channel, then welcome. And I really hope you stick around and watch till the end. Give me a thumbs up if you like it, and hit the subscribe button so that you can see more of this crafty stuff. Oh, before I get into the finished object stuff, which is so lovely and warm right now, I wanted to tell you about a special assignment I did, and I might have hinted about it last week, or last time I did a video. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I'm trying to make them every 2 weeks, so I have time to finish things to show you. One of my favorite podcasts that I watch, which is a British podcast, because I'm British in case you haven't figured that out yet. It's called The Bakery Bears, and it's a lovely couple, Kay and Dan Jones, and they both knit, and Kay also does cooking stuff, and Dan goes off and does historical stuff. And he was doing a piece on James Cook, who I didn't know, and this is what I found terribly interesting about this. The things you find out just from watching a knitting podcast. I mean, come on! Who needs to go to school? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Of course you have to go to school. But what he did, James Cook, I mean, I know he was this guy that went off on a boat and did all that kind of business, but he mapped most of the world, like by going off on his boat, and he had this tool thing that, you know, they could map distances on the oceans and stuff. So it was very amazing, very amazing. And of course he came to Canada, and I had to go for Dan and go and film, what was it called? The St. Lawrence River. So I went down to Prescott, which is not too far from here, and I did a video for him, and it's in his video podcast. So exciting. So if you get a chance, I'll link below where all my show notes will be. the link to that video, and you can go and watch. They're a lot longer than mine. They're usually an hour, sometimes 2, but they're definitely worth watching, and I think you'll enjoy it. So that was my special assignment. So now let's get on with finished objects. And this is my Outer Space by Stephen West, and I finished it, and I love it. And I'm not even sure if I'll be able to stand up and show it all to you, but because it goes and goes. Let me see if I can turn this down anymore. So it goes all the way down to the bottom. One side is longer, which is lovely. It covers my hip, and this side is kind of shorter. So it has that, I don't know, isometrical look. And it's got all different colors. I wanted to finish with what I started with, the color I started with. And the sleeves are black. And it's very nice. Turn around, you can see it covers my bum. And what I love about the top is it's kind of like a shawl effect, and you can actually bunch your sleeves up. Well, maybe not that one. Bunch this one up, and it gives the top a shawly look. It's so comfortable, so comfortable. And there was supposed to be 5 of these, but I ran out of white again, and I just didn't feel like going all the way into Ottawa to get some more of the yarn, so I left it at 4, and I'm glad I did because it fits me perfectly. It would have come right down here, and it would have made it even longer than it was. And I love the neck. The color is I forget the name of what they call it, maybe a tubular, I don't know. You start off with a provisional cast on. You knit all the way up your yoke, so the collar, so it was like double this size, and then you fold it back down, pick up the provisional cast on, and then knit down. So it's all one lovely, it's like there's 2 pieces, but they're all together, and oh my gosh, it is so cozy and so warm, and I love it. And of course it's chunky yarn. It was the oh gosh, Lopi something, I forget the name of it now, and I don't have any to show you, or a label, because I think I chucked it out, the label. And but my son and my daughter-in-law brought this yarn back from Iceland. They went there for their honeymoon last year, and they brought me the yarn back, and I made a hat for me and a hat for my husband out of it. I had so much of this yarn left, all different colors, and I thought, what am I going to do with that? There's only so many hats you can make. So I wound up making this gorgeous sweater, and I'm so glad I did, and it's so nice and warm. So yeah, so that was the first finished object for you. Then I have the next finished object is this. So as you know, I go to a knitting group. Wednesdays is just a regular knit night and day. We do it in the daytime. And Wednesday, that's the regular one. Thursday we do a technique, and we focus each month on a technique. And this month's focus was entrelac. Now some of the ladies did bags and stuff, which they're gonna felt. I didn't want to do that. I just like doing small projects on a Thursday that I can finish in the month. And so I chose a dishcloth. So here is my dishcloth, and it was very interesting learning how to do this technique. It didn't look like anything when I was knitting it, but it was amazing how it suddenly came together and became a dishcloth. And there are regular squares, there are decreasing triangles, there are increasing triangles. Anyway, it was very interesting to learn to knit, and I'm glad I just did it on a dishcloth. This will be used in my new trailer, which I am getting Friday. And the last finished object, of course, has to be a pair of socks, because let's face it, this is the year of the socks. And these are my socks. And I absolutely love them. This was from the Galt House of Yarn. I'm in a bi-monthly sock club, and so this was March's, yes. And I just love them. And the reason that I love them so much is because they are, what's that word when, I don't know, one is one color and bisymmetrical? Whatever the hell it is. And they're ankle socks too, which I really love wearing them. Now, I have to be honest with you, I didn't really like doing the whole cuff, because it was, you had to knit 3 together in the back of the loop, and that's hard. It was really hard to get that third one on, and when it was on, and then you try to loop, and then you come back, and it was hard. It was a struggle. So thank God there was only like 6 rows to do. But I loved it. I really loved it. And I love this yarn. Now this yarn actually is from Yarn Indulgences. And I actually met Deborah on the weekend at the Toronto Frolic. Such a nice lady. And oh my gosh, you should have seen all the other colors of the yarn she had. Anyway, that's later. Toronto Frolic news is later. But so this is what this yarn is. It's a hand-dyed yarn by her, fingering weight, and just lovely. So there, those are my finished objects. So, whips. Toby, what are you doing? What are you doing, baby? You want to come up? You want to come up and say hello? You want to play, don't you? He wants to play. How about you play with your toy? You want your toy? Go get it. There you go. Okay, now you can hear the toy now for a while. Sorry about that. He has the funniest little bite with his, and he can make it go so fast and so squeak so much that it just kind of blows my mind the way he does that with all them little teeth of his. But anyway, I am still plugging along with my blanket, which is a mystery Afghan blanket from 2012, and I loved the pattern so much that I'm making it again. And this is going to be in my trailer, which, did I tell you I'm getting on Friday? Oh yeah. So, don't think I'll have this finished by then, but hey! So you have to make 4 of these squares. And I do have 4. Where's the other one gone? There. 4 of these, and they're just kind of super plain. It's a really nice pattern. So it's just a garter stitch, and you start from the bottom and you increase up to so many stitches, and then you decrease down with a different color. So I have to make 4 of that color, which I've done, and then there's 4 of this color, which I think I've only done 2. So there's 4 of that color, and then so that's the same square, so you're doing 8 but in the different colors. And then the next square that I worked on was this one, which is a knit under the bottom. It's a knit purl, but you're knitting under the bottom of the row below, which kind of gives you that effect. and then the bottom half of it is the same type of thing, but you're knitting 5 and then knitting 1 under the bottom of the row below and knitting 5 and so on, all while you're decreasing. So I've done 2 of those, and I think we have to do 8 of them. So there's 2 of those, and I'm actually working on this one. And I'm using Canadiana yarn from Patterns, and I'm using oatmeal, white, black, where is it? Toasty gray. Doesn't even look like a gray, but there you go. And what's the other color? Is that? Oh, here it is. Stone heather, which again doesn't look like heather to me, but you know, that's the way they color stuff. So it's coming on lovely, and it's in my big Patterns bag, and I think I'm using a 5mm straight needle on that one. I think. What did I do with it? It's buried in the bag now, so I don't know. So that's coming on really well. What else? Oh, I have also been working on the Stripes and Clover shawl that I started at the workshop, and this is sitting in a TobyKnits bag with quilted bottom, drawstring, and I love this pattern. I'm going to say that right off the bat. I love this pattern, which is by Danielle Varriano. I think it might be her first pattern release, and I really am enjoying the pattern itself. So this is as far as I've got. It's garter stitch at the bottom, and then this really lovely, I don't even know what you call that, but that's a really nice, I love the pattern. And then there's the garter stitch again, and it will go all the way up like that. It's gonna look so nice on, don't you think? But oh my goodness, I don't know if I was having a mental breakdown with it or what, but it was definitely, I've had to rip the blue part out twice, completely. Like I would knit the whole thing, the whole, I don't know how many rows, and realized either the spine was the wrong side or my color join was the wrong side, and I just had to keep ripping it out. And so now I finally figured it out, made all kinds of notes on my pattern, and I'm pretty sure it was probably my fault, because once you're doing something that you just are knitting, and it's, you know, you're watching telly, you're not paying all that much attention, and you suddenly realize, wait, I don't think that's supposed to be on that side. And then you have to try to figure out, okay, what side am I doing the increase on? The right side, the wrong side? So of course I am using a Progress Keeper by Bear Owl Yarns, little owl there, to donate the knit side, which is not the increased side, so that I can remember where I am, so I'm not going to make any more mistakes while I'm watching hockey. Because of course that's all that's on telly right now, because it's the playoffs. So that's coming along splendidly. I didn't know whether to tell you about my Toronto Frolic stuff. No, we'll leave that till the end. So I got 2 more whips to show you. Sorry I keep leaning over, but I'm further away from my table. So this one is in my small TobyKnits sock bag. So guess it's a sock. Ah, imagine I'm doing a sock. And this one is, we are doing next month for our knitting club what did I say it was before? Technique? Yeah, technique. So we are doing an Argyle sock, which is going to have duplicate stitch in it. And this is going to be so cool. Stella is showing us how to do this, the British Hat Lady. And the pattern is by, oh yeah, Small Diamond Argyle Socks by Grace Ennis from the Purple Kitty Yarns Co. So this is what it's going to be. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll leave the link below. And it's knit flat. I've never knit a sock flat. So it's going to be super cool. And of course I'm using Bear Street Yarns yarn, fingering weight yarn. And this one is Deep Ocean Blue. Look at that. Deep Ocean Blue. And it has like almost bits of white in it. You can see that. So this is the cuff. And I can't imagine how we're going to do this, but I just think that's lovely. And the other colors that I will have with it, which I actually don't know the names of them, but there's because Stella made up a little kit for us. There's a purple and a gray, and then there's this blue for the duplicate stitch. So these will be the colors for this sock. Anyway, so I think that'll be kind of cool, and I'll probably make this for Bob. So that is a new one, and Thursday we start learning the actual pattern. And finally, in my very original first little TobyKnits bag is last month's Knit Crate sock. And this is the yarn, which is just gorgeous. It's all sparkly, and it is a Fidalana yarn, which is Knit Crate's own, and it is Tangles is the colorway. It's a shimmer yarn, and the pattern that we are doing is called Triometry, I think, and it's a toe-up. Now I've never done a toe-up, and as you know, this is my year of the sock, so I'm learning all kinds of sock techniques. So I started at the bottom with the toe, and I think it was I don't even know what I did with the book. It's got to be around here somewhere. Anyway, so figure 8 cast on. Yeah, figure 8 cast on. And it was very interesting. And then this is the pattern. So they're like, I guess they're little trees. And it's really very nice. I'm enjoying. Oh, and this is my DPN case holder, which actually fits perfectly my magic loop needles, which are my Zings 2.75, and which I love, and another little stitch marker from Bear Street Owls. So yeah, this is a really gonna be a nice sock, I think, when I've finished it. So I shall just put that back into my little holder and into my bag. There we go. So those are my works in progress. Now, I think it's time to tell you about the Toronto Frolic. But first, I have to go get a cup of tea and take the sweater off because I'm so hot. Okay, I should be back. Okay, I'm back with my tea. Nothing better than a nice cup of tea. And this is a Keurig chai latte. It's my favorite. Okay, so I've got my tea. And Toby's got his toys to play with. And I've taken off my sweater because I was so hot with it on. I guess I'll have to put it away for the winter now. So let's get chatting about the Toronto Frolic. I have never been to it before. I've actually never been to any kind of a knitting event other than like that workshop I went to. So I was extremely impressed on all kinds of levels. Doesn't take much. We went, there were 4 of us who went. There was my friend Michelle, Judy, and Stella, and I. And we drove from our little village to Kingston, where we picked up the Perlin J bus. Now, if you don't know who Perlin J is, she is this fabulous lady who has a yarn truck. And she drives all over with her yarn truck and goes to all kinds of different festivals and places all through the summer and with her yarn truck. So she had arranged this trip, and when we got on the coach, we got a goodie bag, which I thought was rather special. And inside the goodie bag were this little cute, and these are things I think that she has on her yarn truck that she sells. So this is from Wannaka's Boutique online knitting and wool store, the woven, and I think this comes from New Zealand. And so this is scrumptious yarn, which is lovely. And then there was this from Fiberlay. I don't know how to say this. Maybe you could say it. Fiberlaya? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. No. And this is really lovely. Look at this. I'm assuming this is like 50 grams. And then we got this one from, actually I don't know where that one came from, but it's a lace weight yarn. That's kind of pretty. And, ooh, and then we got a little stitch marker. And a treat, which I didn't eat. And then we got some information about the yarn crawl thing. And we also got a $5 off coupon for All Dyed Up. So that was what we got in our bag. And I was extremely excited with that. Now, check out some of the footage from when I was there. I didn't do a lot, but you'll get a feel for what it was like and some of the fabulous vendors that I saw. So check that out now. Guess where I am? I am at the Toronto Frolic. Want to come with us? Come and see what we can see. I know. Maybe I will. Yeah. Not as nice as yours. The green in it.
You're welcome.
Smile.
Sorry, that's me.
Linda, I keep bumping into you. How are you? I'm good.
I can get into that.
So, what did you think of that? It was kind of cool, eh? I'll do more videos, longer videos next time, but I wasn't quite sure how best to do it. So now what I want to show you is some of the things I bought while I was there, because of course I did. One of the things I did get, I got talking to this really nice lady called Heather, and she gave this to me. And she is from the timberyarns.com booth. So I was talking to her. Actually, we were talking to Eric, who is from Sticks and Twine podcast. Such a nice guy. And I got a big hug from him, which is awesome. It's always nice when you meet somebody that you've watched on a podcast and you feel like you know them because every week you watch their podcasts, right? Kind of like, I hope you think you know me a bit. And then you actually get to meet them in real life and give them a hug. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So it was lovely to get my big hug from Eric and get my progress keeper, which I was very thrilled about. So thanks, Heather. I really enjoyed that. And I picked up while I was there from Heather was telling me about the Bling Your String. So I went to her booth and had a really nice chat with her. Her name is Erin, and I'd never seen a name spelt like that before, but her name is Erin. And this is what I purchased from hers, and this is a little sock yarn bundle. So here, let me get them out so I can show you. It'll probably be easier. So this is a bit bigger of a yarn. That's probably 50 grams. So this will be the main color of the sock. And then there are two 25 grams different color schemes. So you could do, one would be the cuff and one would be the heel or the toe, or heel and toe. So these are this. And this particular colorway is called Bookworm. And also she makes her own progress keepers. And this is a book. So I thought that that was just adorable. So go check her shop out, because I think she's amazing. Of course, I had to go to the Cozy Knitter, because you all know how much I love the Cozy Knitter stuff. Christina, you are a wonderful dyer. And just look at that. She is self-striping yarn. And this one, I was dying to do it because I made one for my stepdaughter, Carrie. I made a pair of socks for her for Christmas using a really nice colorway, which reminded me of the Ottawa Senators colors, which are her favorite hockey team. And so I made, I forget what it was called, Timberland or Timber, I think it was Timberland or something. And but I'll link below. And so this one, that was a really clear defined stripe system. This one, apparently, it's her brand new one. It may be in the shop now, but it wasn't as of Saturday. And this one's called Crocus, and it's a fade. So I'm dying to see how this one goes. It's gonna be so, and of course purple is my favorite color, as you can tell. So I got that. That was from the Cozy Knitter from Christine. I had a fabulous chat with her at the podcasters meetup. We had a really good chat, so that was a lot of fun. Nice, just really nice to meet the people that were there. And then I also picked up from Cabin Fever. Nearly dropped it. From Cabin Fever, and I spoke to Deb there, and I got this. My niece just had a baby and little boy, and I think I start to need to knit some baby stuff now. So I want to make this. I thought this was cute. So the colors that I got in this little kit are gray, faded denim, actually that's called. It looks more gray, but let's get them out and you can see them. So faded denim, and this is a DK cotton, so which will be nice. And then these are the other two colors. I don't know what they are, but so those were my purchases. So I was very happy with what I picked up and all the new stuff that I am going to get to make. So yeah, so all that is left. Toby, what is that? Piece of card. He loves paper. All that is left to show you is my knit crate. This came just before I went away, but I wanted to hold on to it to show you. So I did open it, of course I did. And we've got pretty little paper this time. And inside of this is this scrumptious, oh my favorite colors. And this is You Are You yarn by Knit Crate, and it is the colorway Shield Bug. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's a fingering weight yarn. Oh, look at them colors. They are so me. And oh, we also got a gift, and in this little box is the most divine, I don't know if I can show you these without them going all over the place, stitch markers. Look, they are little, see, I just dropped one. They are little stars. Oh, they're so cute. So I was excited for that though. Perfect on my little 2.25 millimeter needles. And this was our book that we got this month, and her theme for this month was, I can't even say that word, so bugs, I think is what it's supposed to be. And I am very excited to show you the pattern that we're going to make, which, if I can find it, is that. You can actually get this pattern on Ravelry now. So if you want to purchase it, you can also make that yourself, and you can just use your own yarn. But this is going to be so cool. So I'm guessing we have to separate the two colors and then knit them like that. I'm not sure I like the slouchy old top, but I love this pattern, and I love the color, the way it's going to go. So I don't know, I might just do a regular. We'll see. That's the beauty of knitting. You can just do your own thing because you're the boss of your knitting. So that's kind of cool. So I think that's it for today. This was kind of long. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, if I've forgotten to mention a needle size I used or a particular yarn, I will put most things in the show notes down below, so you'll see what that is. But if I have forgotten something, drop me a note below. Actually, drop me some notes of kindness anyway. I kind of like that. And remember to subscribe for next time. And I will see you soon. As will Toby, who is currently I don't know if I can make this move. Let's see. What you doing, Toby? What you doing, baby? Are you chewing your bone? Okay, that's it for us. See ya.